Sometimes it's not the bad guys who completely snap, but the kind ones who hold everything in the longest. Here are 8 times nice animation characters crashed out, starting with Po from the Kung Fu Panda franchise.
Inner peace, inner peace, inner peace, inner peace, inner peace, inner peace, inner peace.
Yeah, that's the complete opposite of inner peace, buddy. One would never imagine that this goofy and lovable panda could be anything but golden retriever energy. But Kung Fu Panda 2 brings a new side of Po that we haven't seen before. In this film, Po is supposed to grow from a physical warrior into a spiritual master by finding inner peace. His journey, however, hits a snag when he gets a flashback about his traumatic past. Only then does he finally question his goose dad about his true origins.
And from that moment on, both my soup and my life have been that much sweeter.
Honestly, Mr. Ping is one of the best dads in animation, but despite that, Po naturally feels like his whole life is a lie. It's already hard enough finding out your dad isn't your biological father. For Po, it's even worse because he can't remember the rest of his past and there are no pandas around for answers. Unfortunately, the one person tied to the truth is also the absolute worst person imaginable to get it from.
Your parents didn't love you.
Do you have to?
I did it for me.
I mean, how is anyone supposed to achieve inner peace after hearing that? From the moment Po became the Dragon Warrior, he already felt like an outsider who didn't belong in the Kung Fu world. And just when he starts settling into that role, the universe hits him with a full-blown identity crisis. So yeah, no wonder Po crashes out. And he isn't the only one who loses it because of a crisis about his parentage.
And you were wrong about me. And I will never let you use my hair again!
Rapunzel from Tangled had every reason to crash out, and it's a miracle she never snapped sooner. Unlike Po, who at least grew up in a loving home, Rapunzel was stolen as a baby by Mother Gothel, who used her hair to remain young forever. That's already messed up on so many levels. What makes it worse, though, is the fact that Gothel is a terrible parent who builds Rapunzel's entire life around fear.
The world is dark and selfish and cruel.
How ironic.
Coming from a woman who literally stole a baby. Gothel constantly fills Rapunzel's head with lies about the outside world and tears her down whenever she starts thinking for herself. And when Rapunzel sneaks away from the tower for a few days, Gothel somehow becomes even more unhinged.
Please, no!
Wow, this woman really got 2 criminals to scare Rapunzel on purpose just to prove a moot point about the dangers of the world. And as if that weren't enough, Gothel also gets Flynn arrested and nearly hanged just to further tighten her grip on Rapunzel. So yes, imagine enduring all of that your whole life, accepting it because it's your mother, only to find out she's actually a stranger who stole you from your real family. I would crash out too. But while her crash out comes from a place of rage, Hiccup in How to Train Your Dragon 2 unravels because of grief. How is anyone supposed to not crash out after such a huge loss? In this sequel, the once awkward and non-confrontational Hiccup is forced to grow up too soon at the hands of Drago Bloodfist. The villain uses the Bewilderbeast to control Toothless in the cruelest way possible, and Hiccup loses his father right in front of him. It's no wonder he crashes out after that.
No! Get away from him! Go on, get out of here!
Man, this scene is brutal. Even though Hiccup knows deep down that Toothless isn't really at fault, grief completely takes over, causing him to lash out at the dragon he trusts the most. And honestly, who could blame him? What really twists the knife, though, is the timing. Stoic had only just reunited with Valka after years of thinking she was gone, and now she's lost him forever. Hiccup, therefore, is also mourning the family they could have finally become, but will now never be. And somehow, he's expected to stay strong through this terrible ordeal.
How do you become someone that great, that brave, that selfless?
Hiccup knows what an incredible chief of Burke Stoic was, and to somehow fill those huge shoes seems like an impossible feat for a 20-year-old. Hiccup's crash out therefore makes complete sense, and he's not the only character on this list who crumbles under pressure.
Delusional? Of course I'm delusional! Do you know how hard it is to stay positive all the time?
You know things are bad when the literal emotion of joy crashes out. Her spiral in Inside Out 2 is honestly one of the most understandable ones on this list. Ever since Riley hit puberty, nothing goes the way Joy expects. The old system that used to work is suddenly useless, and then the new emotions show up, bringing energy that's basically the opposite of everything Joy believes Riley needs, especially anxiety.
First, we don't take this camp seriously, and we goof off with Bree and Grace. Riley looks really uncool in front of Val.
Anxiety is out here preparing Riley for everything that could go wrong, which, as anyone with anxiety knows, is just a recipe for disaster. Joy can see that this approach is wrecking Riley, but before she can stop it, anxiety takes over completely and banishes her along with the older emotions. So now she's carrying the pressure of trying to fix Riley, get back to headquarters, and stay positive the whole time while everything around her gets worse. Dang, no wonder she snaps. And the hardest part is that Joy eventually realizes she isn't as different from anxiety as she wants to believe.
We keep the best and toss the rest!
Anxiety wants to shape Riley through fear, while Joy tries to shape her by clinging only to the good memories and pushing the painful ones away. She, however, realizes Riley needs both the good and the bad memories to form her own sense of self. Joy faces the truth that the old Riley is truly gone, and she can't keep this new adolescent one together on her own. But unlike Joy, who tries to hold Riley together, Elsa spends most of Frozen trying to hold herself together.
Calm down.
No, don't touch me! Please. I don't want to hurt you.
Gosh, no 12-year-old should have to feel such fear, but that's all Elsa has felt for the longest time. Unlike Anna, she grows up with magical ice powers that seem fun and harmless at first. But once those powers start getting stronger, an accident almost kills Anna. That's when the trolls warn Elsa about the weight of her powers.
You must learn to control it. Fear will be your enemy.
This is the moment that Elsa's life of unease begins. Her parents immediately separate her from Anna and do everything they can to keep her powers hidden. So instead of learning how to live with them, Elsa grows up learning how to shut herself down. But then her parents die, and whatever little comfort she had dies with them. It's hard enough when no one truly understands you, but then losing the only two people who know the whole truth? No wonder Elsa is hanging on by a thread. For years she's lived in isolation, terrified that one mistake will expose her. And of course, that mistake happens on the worst possible day.
Why do you shut the world out? What are you so afraid of? I said enough!
Well, there goes the secret. Throughout Coronation Day, Elsa is doing everything she can to keep it together, but the argument with Anna pushes her past her limit, and all those years of loneliness and fear come bursting out in front of the entire kingdom.
I mean, can you blame her?
After spending most of her life isolated and terrified of hurting the ones she loves, all that bottled up emotion finally explodes in the ugliest way possible, making her seem like a freak, which is something Mei Lee from Turning Red can relate to.
Go back to your psycho mom and your creepy temple, you freak!
You ever tried beating his ass?
Oh yeah, Tyler was definitely asking to get beaten up here. But even then, this kid isn't the real reason Mei snaps in this movie. He's just a small part of a much bigger problem. At her core, Mei is a good kid who's smart, responsible, and extremely determined to be the perfect daughter. On the other hand, she's also just a 13-year-old trying to juggle school, family expectations, temple duties, and the fact that she turns into a giant red panda every time she gets too emotional. So yeah, you can already see why she would crash out. And speaking of crashing out, hit that subscribe button before I blow my fuse! Just kidding. Or am I? But anyway, as much as Mei loves her mom, Ming makes everything worse by being way too involved in every part of her life.
What?
Man, being a teenager is already hard enough. The last thing you need is your mom whipping out drawings of your crush for him and everyone else to see. Slowly but surely, May's bottled up frustration at her mom gets worse, especially when Ming tells her she can't go to a once-in-a-lifetime concert. Tired of spending her whole life being what her family wants, May decides to go anyway. But when her mother crashes the place, literally, May officially reaches her limit.
I like boys! I like loud music! I like gyrating! I'm 13! Deal with it!
Yes, Queen! Yes, Queen!
That right there is years of pressure and frustration exploding out of her in one go. May is tired of constantly being judged and feeling like she'll never be enough. Add the whole red panda situation on top of that, and it's a miracle she didn't crash out sooner. In the end, May finally stops trying to meet her family's expectations, much like Mirabel Madrigal from Encanto. You just witnessed the moment Mirabel's life changed forever. Despite being the only one in her family who didn't receive a magical gift, Mirabel has always been cheerful and supportive of everyone around her. But as time passes, Mirabel starts feeling more and more like the family's odd one out. Eventually, though, she realizes everyone else is struggling too.
I've been stuck being perfect my whole entire life.
The sister Mirabel always thought had everything easy was actually breaking under the pressure of being perfect. She learns that even the gifted Madrigals aren't completely fine. But still, that doesn't erase her own pain either, because everyone still makes her feel like the weak link, especially Abuela.
The crack started with you. Bruno left because of you.
Man, that's harsh. This is the moment Mirabel realizes that no matter how hard she tries, Abuela will always see her as the problem. Because, of course, it's easier to blame the person without a gift than to confront your family's real problems. And after years of feeling dismissed and like she's not good enough, Mirabel finally speaks her mind.
You're the one breaking our home.
Don't you
The miracle is dying because of you.
Damn! Imagine crashing out so hard you bring the whole house down. She finally calls out the pressure and impossible expectations that have been damaging the whole family. But she isn't the only nice character with a complicated family. Simba from The Lion King has one of the most tragic backstories in animation. Before this moment, he was just a carefree kid who could be a little bratty, but still meant well. Then he watches his dad die trying to save him, and his entire life changes in seconds.
But the king is dead. And if it weren't for you, he'd still be alive.
Scar not only kills Mufasa, but then looks at his little nephew and convinces him it was his fault. Simba genuinely believes he caused his father's death. Terrified that the Pride will hate him, he runs away, not even knowing that the same uncle he trusted sends hyenas after him too. Away from Pride Rock, Simba grows up pretending everything is fine, repeating Hakuna Matata like it's a licensed therapy method. Spoiler alert, it isn't. Because when Simba returns years later and finally learns the truth, he completely loses it.
I killed Mufasa.
Murderer! And that, folks, is years of trauma, guilt, and grief exploding all at once. So when he finds out the whole thing was orchestrated by the uncle he trusted, of course he snaps, making Simba's crash out one of the most valid in animation history.